right there in the entryway of the park. We have the Gigantea, which is the giant. We have the Sempervirens, which is the tallest of the trees, not necessarily the biggest in volume, which are the giants, but these are the tallest, the Sempervirens. And we have China, no less, the Dawn River. Now, this, you can't even reach this here. See.
还看到有一只小狗哦，啊，那个是一个，对对，那是一个白人的狗哈，那就够追呀，结果差不多几岁呢？你们猜猜看，14岁了。14岁。要去抢。还有是公主。打斗。看到最后他被揍掉了。什么？你跑去哪里？找小三小四。
Towards the mystery spot cabin, I wanted to call to your attention the picture behind you. That's the cover of Life magazine. That photograph was taken in 1948. It's of the Gaylord Harding family demonstrating the famous 17-degree lean inside the mystery spot cabin. It's the same 17-degree lean you'll soon all experience. Now the funny thing about that picture though is not that they're actually leaning that much. The funny thing is, towards the mystery spot cabin, so please follow me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
很奇怪啊。
哦，看完了。
奇怪。
你跟我一样高。OK， 你会比我高吗
She made her classmate.
哇，你比我高这么多。
啊，会。
Higher。
哦，一样高，一样高。
看起来一样高。
嗯。
He always say, I wear this high, always high. Always high. Go, baby, go. 小心哦。很陡。
It just so happens the branches on one side decay more rapidly than the other side. Now, the people who work here do have a hypothesis as to why this is occurring. Some of us believe the branches only grow on one side in order to compensate for some sort of gravitational pull they may be experiencing from growing down the mystery spot. Right now, we're going to turn.
你这样子不是太阳没照到那边。
Annie，我妈说头有点滚，因为会地心引力。会，地心引力。她等一下再上去，她跟你讲说，她知道有。哦，对，就是再进去的话可能会有点晕。对，而且还晕的。啊，这样好。谢。你看它没有了，你看树就这样，一边有树叶，一边没有。树。
一边有，哎呀。
Times a day, we don't just hire anybody at the mystery spot. They certainly don't give out these cool badges to just anybody either. You got to buy them at the gift store if you want them. So before we enter the cabin, I'm going to give you a little more history behind it. This is actually the original cabin that was built here in 1939. It was was built about 50 feet up that hillside on a flat and level foundation like a cabin should be built. And over the course of about 2 months, the cabin fell off that foundation and it slid down to this position and suddenly stopped here. Now, can anybody guess to why the cabin would have stopped here?
Because the tree stopped.
Yeah, there's actually a tree around the corner. Now it makes a lot of sense that if those trees were there when the cabin was sliding, they would be strong enough to stop it. Now I can tell you though, the trees around the corner are only about 30 to 40 years old, while the cabin is well over 50 years old. Also, if you do remember, Mr. Praler bought the land from a lumber company. Now that lumber company cut down every tree before they sold the land, so no trees were here when the cabin was sliding. Now the reason we believe the cabin stopped is we think as it was sliding, it reached the approximate center of the mystery spot, and all the forces surrounding the mystery spot were pulling with equal strength in every direction, causing it to stand still. So as you've probably noticed too, it's a very crooked cabin, right? It makes it difficult to tell what is and what is not a level surface. So our mystery spot tech people have devised another experiment for us. But I do want to warn you, this experiment uses the same cutting-edge technology you've all grown accustomed to here. So I'm going to get anyone right here. You just scooch up a little bit. We're going to do an experiment right on this windowsill. So we call this the board of mystery. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say board of mystery one more time, except this time I want everyone in the crowd to say ooh and ah. Also, if you do not say ooh and ah loud enough the first time, I will make you do it again. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the board of mystery. Very nice. Now you probably don't get the board.
还是一样，我看一下。哦，最强是那个中间那个黄天哈，头会晕哦。
会晕嘛？对呀，你看斜斜的。
Shoot this for me. Just press it, just press it. It's a movie now.
Okay, so can I get the person at the very end? Please step forward, ma'am. You, sir, step forward too. I want you two to switch spots.
Oh, let's continue.
And then I want the next two in to switch. So, ma'am, in the order, step forward. You two are going to switch, and the two in the very middle.
Oh, recording.
对，算了。
I don't need to push
now, does anybody notice something strange that happened?
Continue.
It looks like everyone's the same height now, right? Now, if you look to the left and to the right, they can tell they're all eye level with their neighbor. Because none of them have eyes in the back of their head, they cannot see the crooked roof line behind them. Because they cannot see that roof line, it means it's not an optical illusion, because they can tell a height change occurred without seeing the roof line. So this is rather strange too, because we started with the tallest on the low end, shortest on the high end. When you switch those two, you should see a larger difference in their height, because the tallest person walked uphill, shortest walked downhill. So you should have the height difference of the bench added to the height difference they already had in the first place. Obviously though, that's not what we're saying to you, ma'am. How does it feel to be 5'10"? Good? Right. Sir, how does it feel to be now 5 feet tall? Usually not as good. Now to show you how much of a height change occurred, can I get the two on the opposite ends to switch back? Everyone else stay where you are.
Too late.
So this is about how much the Now that's pretty weird, right? Because he walked downhill, but we grew a full head. She walked uphill, and she shrank a full head. Pretty bizarre. Okay, so there's one more thing I want the volunteers to do. I want you all to bend forward at the hip like this. Give them a round of applause, please. You guys are all welcome to step off the board. Okay, so there are a few other weird things you can look at around this area. You might notice
Some missed it. That's still going on.
Those trees are known for growing very straight and typically very tall. You might notice there's one in the background, though, growing in a corkscrew. It's a very strange way to see that kind of tree grow in a natural environment, and shows you more of the bizarre things that occur within the bounds of the mystery spot. Now, also, while we're talking about the trees, I wanted to let you all know that all of the trees in the mystery spot are actually female. Yes, that's right, they are mysteries. Pretty bad joke, right? I did say they would only get worse. So there was no good pun for that one, so I can't say anything for it. Okay, so we can do one more height demonstration in this particular spot. It requires a volunteer of any height. Does anybody want to come up? Like what? Okay, so you're going to stand right there at the end facing me. And tell me when this is eye level with you. So should I raise it higher or lower? Higher? Okay, so she says that's eye level. Now you'd imagine if she walks uphill, her eye level will increase a little, right? Because she's getting taller relative to the fence. Just have you walk to the end of the bench.
Rather strange, though, they're not exactly sure why this actually spins in this direction.
You might notice her eye level has not increased at all. It actually decreased by quite a bit, as if she somehow shrunk on the way here. So give her a round of applause. If you walk back that way, I'm sure you'll gain back your height. Okay, so the group in front of us, they're just exiting. So what you're going to do right now is you can take some pictures of the back entrance of the cabin. Once they start heading down the hillside, I will call you over around this corner so we can finish up our tour. So we're actually not going to go over that direction yet, not quite yet, because we would have to rename it to the Solve Spot. Now, as you can imagine, the Solve Spot sounds really boring, right? Nobody wants to see the Solve Spot, let alone have to pay $5 to see it, and that means I would have to get a new job. Now, we do have a few theories, though, to explain what's going on. One theory says there's a pool of magma below us that is rotating, that is causing some sort of altercation to the Earth's magnetic field, which is causing all the strange things we saw here today to happen. A second theory says there's a fault line running through the mystery spot. We believe that fault line is leaking CO2 gas. We're all inhaling that CO2 gas, causing a mass group hallucination. Welcome to Santa Cruz, everybody. Not too bad for $5, right? So we got one more theory. This is our most famous theory, actually. This theory says that an alien spacecraft that once a long, long time ago crash landed here, creating this entire hillside. We believe the aliens like the land so much they laid eggs all around the mystery spot. Those eggs eventually hatched into us tour guides. We are now controlling you with our minds. Now, those are all scientific theories I'm sure you probably agree with. Now, once again, I want to remind you, if you did enjoy the tour, my name is Andrew. However, if you did not enjoy the tour and intend to complain on the way out, my name is Devin. And because you've been a great group, we do have a gift for you. And that gift is the famous mystery spot bumper stickers. Yes, that's right, everyone here, you all get to advertise for us completely free of charge. However, if you do not want to advertise for us, I saw a huge bus in the parking lot. It's got a lot of space. I'm sure that bus driver would really appreciate like 1,000 bumper stickers all over his car. So I want to thank you again for coming. I also want to remind you, we got a tip jar right here. If you'd like to leave a tip, feel free, although it's obviously not required. Single women, if you don't want to leave a tip, please leave your phone number. That'll compensate for it. So I want to thank you again for coming. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I also want to remind you, please be careful on your way down, because if you do fall down this hill, I guarantee you will not roll back up. Thanks again for coming, guys. Give yourself a round of applause.